in general, what do you think that Red Kettle has brought to the city itself, to Waterford City?
Red Kettle brought professionalism to Waterford. They brought a sense of standards. Being the first professional theatre company is a major achievement for any group of people, but the sense that they brought with that quality standards, they used the best of actors, didn't always use local actors. Maybe some people might regret that. They used best of directors. Fine work. A commitment to giving people a national and then an international experience. And Red Kettle have done that. And the kind of work they're doing now in a tent, big spectacle work, that's a big risk, it's a big ask. It's going to people in a different way, and it's also suggesting that maybe the stage is too small, that you have to be out there, it's a bigger spectacle.
12 years, man. 12 years since you set foot back home. Nah, is your mother waiting at the ferry terminal you'll need? Mammy to take a bit of hand and show you the way back home.
Not been that long.
Longer even.
Said not been that long.
Hope's been to Ireland more times than you. Hope and Bill Clinton.
Old fella's funeral. Remember?
Right there, Jack. 7 years ago. That's right. That's right, Martin. Went with you.
See?
Yeah, Frank fucking Sinatra for one night only. Hello, ma. Sorry about that. There's a few bobs. So long. Once in 12 years.
Yep, still went back.
Only what funerals don't count.
Yes, they do. Funerals and weddings. So, ain't you?
That's right, Jack. Funerals, weddings, and christenings.
That's some marriages.
No, they're not visits. They're what you call obligations.
Oh, he's right there, lads.
That's duty. Fella don't have no choice in them.
There's no choice at all.
See?
Well, I say.
Tell us a little bit about how it all started. Where did the idea come from?
Well, we were a lot of us were part of a group called the Waterford Arts for All project, which was kind of dedicated to, again, making the kind of arts accessible. I was in art school, for instance, and Jim Nolan was interested in plays. I think he was the only one who had a clue about theatre. But as part of that development, we got together one summer to do a play in the streets called When Elephants Walked on the Moon. That was 1981 actually, and we were then called the Waterford Arts for All Project Theatre Company. And I was in that show, you know, and we all kind of just went into it. And then each summer we kind of kept doing that, and then in the winter we started doing plays in the pubs. And it was 85 then we thought, you know, if we're really going to do this properly, maybe we should, you know, light it properly and kind of get it. So we went into a theatre, and Jim wrote the play, The Gods Are Angry, Miss Kerr, and we changed our name to Red Kettle, and thus the theatre company was born.
So guys, Red Kettle, 25 years on, did you ever think they'd make it this far?
Oh, I just think it's fantastic, and yes, absolutely. I mean, they've been so many productions down through the years, and they're amazing. I'm delighted, and I'm delighted to be part of it as well. I'm privileged. It's brilliant.
So you're performing this evening, Linda. What's been your sort of most memorable part of Red Kettle in the last 25 years?
I think probably I saw so many of them as well in the early kind of days. I went to everything. It's hard to choose ones, but I suppose the ones that stood out: Crucible, Talbot's Box, the Shockron. Oh my God, Bent. There was just so many different ones down to the years, but those ones certainly, and the Glass Menagerie as well. And recently, Midsummer's Night Dream, which was this last year, fantastic piece as well. So yes, lots and lots of really good productions down through the years. It's great.
Sinead, what do you think Red Kettle has brought to Waterford City?
Well, I think what it's brought is just how professional they are and how credible they are throughout the country. Like what Linda said, you only have to mention Red Kettle, and actors from internationally as well would associate themselves with Red Kettle, and I think that's amazing for Waterford. And in Waterford, the amount of talent we have, straight, serious actors along with musical theatre, it's just fantastic. And I think for me, my best memories of Red Kettle would be Jim Nolan's writing, and I think we're going to see that tonight, 5 or 6 plays. He writes for real people, he writes for Waterford people, and I think they're doing a piece from the Salvage Shop tonight, and that's a real story about real people, and it comes from the heart. So I think my favourite part of Red Kettle throughout the years would be Jim Nolan's plays.
Very much. Ben Hennessy told me I'd have a microphone, so forgive me. I just want to say that it's been a really great journey. When 25 years ago, if someone had asked us, did we think we'd last this long, the answer would have been yes, we hoped so, and we're really glad that we made it. I'm not used to talking without a script. But I do want to say this, the piece that I just saw there is one of the 25, maybe 30 new plays that we did over the years. And that's the reason why we set up this company, was so we could bring stories like that to our own town. And I'm really proud of what collectively we've achieved in that regard. I would like to, on a night like this, there's so many hundreds, maybe thousands of people that we owe our existence and our continued existence to. And I'm not going to thank them individually, you'll be glad to know. But there are two people that I worked with that I do want to mention. And they were the two general managers of Red Kettle that I worked with as artistic director. And they were Liam Rellis and before him TV Honan. I fought with them for the 15 years that I was there. I fought for my corner of the operation. They fought so that they fought to raise the money so that people like us could realize our dreams. And none of what has happened at Red Kettle over the last few years would have happened without Liam Rellis and without TV Honan. 10, 12 years ago I wrote a play called The Salvage Shop, and there was a tough leading role and we didn't know how we were going to cast it. So Liam Rellis and I and the other lads at Red Kettle put our minds thinking. We said, along with our director Ben Barnes, that we would start at the top. And so we put the hunt out and we looked for lots of different actors, and then we started looking for Neil Tobin. I said I'd get it in first. I'm sure he's plenty to say about me.
And in conclusion, this is a reading from The Salvage Shop by Jim Nolan, as he has so coyly told you. All I saw was the empty chair. All I helped was the music, those perfect notes. All I ever cared about. I didn't give a damn why you'd gone missing. The music would heal that. I'd heal it through the music. I'd forgotten, of course, that there is pain which no music can describe. There are conditions which no music exists. I know that now, Eddie. I'm the one who's sorry. We'll drink to that. One for the road. For 37 years, I pushed and bullied and browbeat that band towards a version of itself impossible to attain. I tried to take them past their limits. We had a sacred function in this place. Minister and minstrel entwined, and by Christ, we were going to live up to it. But tonight in that hall, I sat and listened to the band, and I fell in love with imperfection. The bum notes, the off keys, the shady timings. In my profound ignorance and arrogance, I'd forgotten that they had their function too, and that it was a necessary and a noble one.
Now, what would be your fondest memories of Red Kettle throughout the years?
Well, I suppose after a few years of being involved, I ended up working at the children's side of the company, Little Red Kettle. And I mean, the memories we have from all of that time are really very special. I suppose particularly 10 years ago this month, actually, we were preparing to go to Japan and represent Ireland in the World Festival of Children's Theatre. We brought 20 Little Red Kettlers to Japan, and that was really, I suppose, the highlight for us. Certainly the highlight for me in all of the years that I worked with the company.
What else do you think Red Kettle has brought to Waterford City?
Oh, well, there's an enormous community spirit. I suppose the amount of people who, and you see them here tonight actually as adults, and people were able to be given a start in the business in Waterford. There are so many people who aren't here tonight, of course, like Dots and Jamie Beamish and Keith Dunphy. People who got the opportunity to get their teeth into theatre, professional theatre in Waterford, and to give a really good start in the business. And then, of course, they're now in London representing us and representing Waterford.